Welcome back to the show. So, as you can see, we're in the stone room all over again, and we're starting a new dress. This dress is one of the million crystal Swarovski gowns that I love to work with, and it's in yellow tone. So let me gather these stones. I'll show you what I found, and it's gonna be amazing. So I found some goodies, a tray full of them. This is kind of the inspiration that I'm working off of as far as the density for my fringe hanging. This is the gorgeous dress. And I need to move some of these around the back because she wants the second layer of these fringes to be a little smaller. So I'll do that, but first let me trade up all of these stones so I can show you. Alright, so I got all of the yellow goodies, some citrine, some sunflower, some yellow opal, some AB, some sunflower delight. This is some more yellow opal in the flat bags, all the flat bags, and then some yellow opal Swarovski chain. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but that is going to be amazing. But again, like I said, this is the inspiration. I'm definitely going to add some of these wispies off to the side. A nice little brooch somewhere. But the first thing I need to do is glue down all of this lace. So let's get into that. So most people like to think that this is the hardest part of the dress. I wouldn't necessarily call it the hardest part of the dress, but it's definitely the most tedious part of the dress, because if you shift any part of the lace in the wrong direction, it will throw off the entire continuity of the design. Like, as you can see, there's a huge back piece and then a drop down the hip of the lace design, and you gotta get that drop equal on both sides. But I love what I do, and I've been doing it so long. Trust me, I got this. But it is very tedious, and depending on the kind of lace you use, you might want to just slightly glue the edges of the lace. So that's what you see me doing here. This really thick, bulky lace, I try just to throw glue or squeeze my glue just along the edges of both sides, not to 100% saturate the underside of the lace, because you don't want the dress to get stiff. You want the dress to stay having its motion, stay to be able to move and lay as flat as possible. So you see how I continue to push the pins back in? You want to always use your pins to make sure you keep the shape that you need. I love this process of gluing on my lace, but I do wish I had an assistant to do this part for me. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I would trust someone else to do this for me. They would literally have to train under me for a year just to get me to trust them to glue down my lace properly. Because if, like I said, if you don't do it right the first time on a dress like this with this kind of fabric, it could be detrimental to the design. So as I move up to the bust, I really want to make sure that I use my pins, because the curvature of the bust line can really mess up the lace. Finally, I'm done with gluing down all of this lace. I still have the pins in, but we'll wait for that to dry. So as you see, I moved all of the bigger pieces of fringe that I made and topped it with the citrine and sunflower pears. Now I have to make some smaller ones, and I want to show you how I did it. So I have these beautiful pieces of fringe down here with the toppers that are in this sunflower color. I'm going to show you exactly how I make these fringe. Maybe in a small project alert you'll get that, but I wanted to show you quickly how I quell my OCD. And the fact that it's not perfect is really bothering me. I like to color coordinate my pens. I'm weird, I know. So my coworker said we got some new yellow opals in. She said it was right next to the regular opals. I don't see it. Let me show you. So there's the opals. Maybe they're with these yellow opals? No. Delight. Yeah, no, that's not it. White opal. Here's in the back of the white opal box. Yellow opal rounds. Let me turn this camera around. Open them up so you can see. Hopefully, I beat the camera. There we go. Cute. I definitely will use them. So I found what I needed, and what I'm gonna do is just start placing these larger pears all over the dress. Gorgeous. So I only used it at certain intersections. This is the citrine size 28 by 17 3230 code Swarovski crystal, and I love this size. It gives it a gigantic pop. So what I'm actually doing now is I decided to move my pears that I put in those specific intersections up so I can add that AB frame in a crescent right under it. I think it gives it more pop. Now on to the next configuration of stones. So I used the tiny citrine pears mixed with the sunflower pear in the center to make a cute little centerpiece just in strategic spots around the dress. And I love the way that look. That sunflower just gives it an accent. It's just a deeper tone of the citrine stone, and it gives me just enough shadow to give me a beautiful accent piece all over the dress. So I put them all over the dress. Remember those beautiful yellow opals I found that my coworker put me on? Yep, I found a spot for them. So they're gonna go as an accent intertwined in between the lace. Again, in strategic places. And strategic places are going to be the ideal function for accenting this dress. When you're doing a dress that already has crystals, all you really have to do is add accents. So there's a video accompanying this dress. I put it over here somewhere that said I needed to add a lobster claw to the necklace that's hanging in the back, which is this. It's made from a tube, which is just maybe 1.5 inches folded over, turned inside out. So what I did was add a giant loop, sew the loop on, cut about 1 inch of the necklace off, sew the tiny loop to the end of the necklace, and then clip the lobster claw to the tiny loop, decorated it so you can't really see it, put the same design here on the other side that is connected to the dress, and then started to make my centerpiece here. I think it's cute, and I just wanted to show you that before I continue on. The dress is going well. I finished all of the smaller fringe tassels. These ones are surrounded in the citrine AB. You see the bigger ones are surrounded in the regular AB, and I think I'm going to stone this necklace in the citrine AB as well. Alright, but before I do that, I'm gonna start stoning all of this lace. Oh, it's gonna take forever, but it's so pretty. All of my specialty stones are in. I did the crisscross right here, and it looks good. I do have some chain, some plastic chain. I have some opal chain here, but I think that's going to create too much weight, and then the fringe might get stuck on it because it has those metal prongs. So I think I'm just going to add some of this plastic chain down here with. All right, so I got my first layer of stones on the lace done. This is the citrine AB. It's getting 4 colors, which is citrine AB, regular AB, yellow opal, and regular citrine. But it looks good so far. So I got the citrine in. That's these beautiful yellow stones all up and through the bodice and the torso and the back. And it looks gorgeous. So now I'm gonna jump into the AB, and then this Sunshine Delight, and then maybe this opal. Alright, so I got the AB stones in, and it's starting to get nice and full and almost done. I've got 2 more stones to add. I just wanted to show you the AB stones really quickly before I go into this Sunrise Delight, which is this one, and then lastly the yellow opal. I know I said I would do the Sunshine Delight, which is actually Sunrise Delight, but I ended up doing the yellow opal just because it was more of a standout kind of color, and I wanted to put it in strategic places, again with the word strategic, but it's a reality when you're doing a dress like this. You have to be strategic with everything that you're doing. So I got those in all of the little places that I wanted to do, and I ended up finding all little tiny ones that I'm going to use this color, the yellow sunrise, in, which is a good thing because there were so many different like undercuttings of the lace where it was still kind of exposed, where I can use those just to give it a little oomph of dramatics with the sunrise color, and I like that. Small project alert, small project alert. If you wanna learn, small project alert. Come on, share, it's your turn. Small project alert. Small project alert. So, yes, we're back to the small project, and I'm trying to find the proper placement for these tassels. So what I did was take it off of the pin that was already there, and I put the needle in that spot. So what I'm going to do is thread one of those pieces of lace, not lace, but fringe that were at the top through the hole where the pin was, and just tie it. It's that simple. It's really that simple. Just to keep it having a little bit of movement, I'm gonna lend maybe a ½ inch of space in between the tops of the tassels and the knot. But it's gonna be amazing. Here you see me pulling it up just to get that ½ inch of space as I was talking about. But remember, I have those citrine and sunflower smaller pairs that are going to top all of the tassels and give it just an extra bit of yellow shine down there. But you do want to make sure that you secure it. So once you get your knot in, you're going to take the threads of the knot and kind of under wrapping of that to make the tassel top a little more tighter, a little more secure. If you're a hair braider, then you know this technique very well with making the braid, the under braid, secure over the big braid that is going over the top. But there's going to be no big braid for this one. We're just securing it nice and tight, cutting off the excess, and then moving on to the next one.
So I added some of those plastic fringes, well, plastic chains from Preciosa. In 2 different sizes. These are the 10 and these are the 13s. No, these are the 8s. It's 10 meters. I don't know what I was reading, but yeah. All the way around, I think it looks good. I'm gonna get approval and then I'm gonna sew those down. I started the back straps as well. So it's just completely stoned out all the way around. All the different kind of yellows that I used. And then I added a little pair at the tip. That's what I'm working on with this one. Still gotta do that side. And I stoned this in golden shadow. Finally, I'm done with this gorgeous yellow dress. Can you see it? This is actually a big giant mirror behind me because it's actually over here by this mirror. See it? Oh, it's gorgeous. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I see my numbers growing every day and I do appreciate you guys coming. Even though my premieres have little to, I don't want to speak negatively, so have only a little bit of people up in there. I appreciate the ones who do come. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the chat, or you can send me an email at tiffanysotalented@gmail.com. Now let you get into this dress. So at a last minute, and I wasn't gonna do it, but I decided to because I really didn't want to make any more fringe. I mean, you see we have the giant ones here, the smaller ones going up. There was going to be another layer of even smaller. And I was like, no, I can do something with these Preciosa chains to make it even more gorgeous, more sparkly. I think there's enough fringe. So I went in with the chains and I think it looks amazing. If you want to know how I installed these chains, I have a very detailed video. I'll put it maybe over here, and then I'll link it in the description so you can go and check that video out of how I installed these chains. But I love this million stone Swarovski crystal gowns. My co-worker actually just did one too, and it is, you know what? Let's go see it. I got heels on today, trying to run in the office with these damn heels on. Here we go. Let me show you. So she used the million Swarovski crystals too. Can you see it on the mesh? Oh, this is so gorgeous. This is a version of a dupe of one of my dresses that she did. So this was my dress I did last year, and I think she did an amazing job recreating it in her own little way. But we're not here for that dress, we're here for this one, and I love it. Do you see the bugle has movement? This little sheer panel here on the bottom. We got so much talent here. All right, let me get back to my dress. Isn't it gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous. I just love everything about this dress. All of the beautiful specialties that I used. What is that? A piece of glue. Okay, it's gone. I would zoom right in on that spot too. Anyway, but I like the way the chains, you see, it gives it some extra movement. And I love that. All right, let me shoot these final scenes. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again for watching. See you in the next one.